Okay, third grade, this is chapter 21, review test on page 439. You want to make sure that you have a sheet of paper, and make sure you have your name, date, and the lesson that we're doing, but you also want to make sure that you grab your dot paper. It was in like kind of a separate packet inside of your envelope. So make sure you grab that too. But we won't use that until number 11. Okay, so we are getting ready to take our open book chapter 21 test. So to get us ready for that, we're going to review. Now, the nice thing about the review is that it has page numbers behind all the questions saying that's the page number you should go back to find the answer. So 1 and 2 is talking about vocabulary. Our vocabulary words are tessellation, face, or edge. A flat surface of a solid figure is a flat surface. And it says go back to page 424. A flat surface. Oh, if I scroll down, I can see all the vocabulary words right here. A face is a flat surface of a solid figure. Right there's our answer. So it is a face. So for number 1, right, number 1, I'm going to put a flat surface of a solid figure is a face. Okay, then we're going to go to number 2 of the vocabulary. And it states, the line segment formed where 2 faces meet is called an, so we already used face. So now we're down to tessellation or edge. The line segment formed where 2 faces meet. Whoop. An edge is the line segment formed where 2 faces meet. Right here's the edge. So that is the answer to number 2. The line segment formed where 2 faces meet is called an edge. So 1 and 2 is just vocabulary. 3 and 4, we're going to have to name the solid figure. So a solid figure that has 6 square faces. And I'm going to highlight that square faces. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go to 21.1 on page 424 to look at all the solid figures, right? Cube, rectangular prism, sphere, cylinder, square pyramid, and cone. Which one of these has all sides are going to be squares? And that is a cube, right? A rectangular prism has rectangles, but a cube only has faces that are square. So number 3 is cube. Now number 4 says a solid figure with 6 rectangular faces. So it's kind of just, it's very similar to a square or a cube with all sides that are faces that are squares, but it has rectangular faces. That means it's a rectangular prism. So number 4 is a rectangular prism. A rectangular prism. Okay, now 5 and 6 is where they took and they put all of the figures together, right, to make another object. So we have to go through and we have to label every single one. So number 5, I see 3 shapes, right? But I'm going to go back to 21.1 and take a look at, remember, we have a cube, rectangular prism, sphere, cylinder, square pyramid, and cone. So taking a look at number 5, I'm just going to go bottom layer to top. That bottom layer actually looks like a cereal box, right? And so that means it is a rectangular prism on the bottom. But am I done? No. I go from a rectangular prism to, ooh, that object has all square faces, meaning that is a cube. And then on the very top of that, that is called a cone. Kind of like a colorful cones that we had out on our playground, right? For soccer and stuff. Okay, number 6 has 4 figures. So we gotta make sure we label all 4. Okay, so on the bottom, still thinking that looks like a cereal box, right? So we have a rectangular prism on the bottom again. Then I have 2 of these, I don't know, tall things. They have, look, they have a circle maybe on top. Let's go back and take a look. It's not a cube, not a rectangular prism. It's not a sphere. The 2 of them are cylinders. But I can't just write cylinder. I have to write how many cylinders are there? There's 2, right? So we gotta write 2 cylinders. And then finally at the very top, that is a cube. Okay, for 7, 8, 9, and 10, we're talking about tessellations. Remember tessellations was pretty cool. Kind of like an art project, right? So when a plane surfaces combine to cover a surface without overlapping or leaving any space between them, those figures can tessellate. The repeating pattern formed by the figures is called a tessellation. So look, a square can tessellate, no overlapping, no gaps. A hexagon can tessellate. A triangle can tessellate. Now, the circle can't because you're leaving gaps, right? There's going to be this gap right here. A pentagon can't tessellate because there's going to be this triangle gap, right? So, looking at number 7, well, 7 is a square. Wasn't 7 one of the examples? It was. So will a square tessellate? And your answer to number 7 is yes. Now number 8 is an oval. Now if we go back, remember, could a circle tessellate? No, because there's gaps, right? So think about, if a circle can't tessellate, would an oval tessellate? Nope, there's going to be gaps. Number 8 is no. Number 9 is a triangle. Well, we found out. Can a triangle tessellate? Yes, it can. So number 9 is yes. And then number 10, well, it kind of looks like a square, right? But then it's got this curve here. We know a square can tessellate, but when you have that curve, but what's going to be able to match that curve? We're always going to have a gap here, right? So number 10 is a no. Okay, so 11, 12, and 13 is where you're going to need a dot paper. And the dot paper actually on the side says Chapter 21 Review Test. Okay, so 11, 12, and 13, we're going to have to copy that figure, and we're going to have to draw the missing line segments so that the figure matches its label. So number 11, I got to create this rectangle. So what I'm going to do, kind of use a highlighter to kind of show you guys. So I'm going to start here, and I go over 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'll make this bigger for you guys. Oops. And this we said is number 11. And I said if I started at this dot, right, I go over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to draw my line across. Then I gotta go all the way down. Then it says I'm gonna go down 2 lines. Right, I'm gonna go down 2 lines. Okay. I'm gonna go down 2 lines, right? 1, 2. So then I'm going to connect. Now, with this, I'm making a rectangle. Well, rectangle, I know it has 2 sets of parallel sides and all right angles. And it's 4 sides. So I already have 2 of the sides, so now I'm just going to go back through and I'm going to match those sides, right? There's my rectangle for number 11. The number 12 gets a little bit trickier. Number 12 says I'm going to make a pentagon, right? So I'm just going to pick this left one right here. I have to go over 2 and up 1. Over 2 and up 1. Kind of see where I got that from? Over 2 and up 1. So I'm going to go to my dot paper. If I start right here, over 2, up 1. Okay, I'm going to connect my dots. Okay, then I go over 1, but down 1. Over 1, down 1. Over 1, down 1. Connect. Then I just go down 1, 2. I'm going to go down 2. 1, 2. Okay, now, but I'm making a pentagon. A pentagon has 5. Right now I only have 3 sides, right? So this is where it's up to me how I want to do it. Maybe I want to go over 2 for 4 sides, and then I'm going to close it for the 5th side. I can do that. I can go all the way over 3 and then go up 2 to close it. It doesn't matter what you do as long as they're line segments and you have to draw 2 of them, right? It has to come back to the start of the shape, right? Because polygons are closed shapes. Okay, number 13 is a hexagon with 6. So I'm going to start right here, over 1, up 1. Okay. Hexagon, over 1, up 1. Let me first label 13. And I said I'm just going to start right here, over 1, up 1. Okay, there's my over 1, up 1. And then I'm just going to slide over to the right one. Slide over to the right one. Okay. Then I'm going to go over 1, but down 2. Over 1, but down 2. Over 1, but down 2. Then I'm going to go down 1 into the left 1. Down 1 into the left 1. Down 1 into the left 1. I think I have one more, right? And then I'm just going to slide over 1 to the left. Slide over 1 to the left. Okay, so it's hexagon. It's got to be 6 sides, right? Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I only have one way I can do this shape, right? I have to close my figure for the 6th line segment. And there's my hexagon. Okay, so now we're on to 14 and 15. Now, on my paper, I don't have to write 11, 12, and 13 because that's my dot paper, right? But I can skip a line if I want. And I'm going to move on to 14. Okay, so using the figures at the right, we have figure A, B, and C. It looks like a circle, a rectangular, and a square. Which figure is the bottom view of a cone? So right here, I actually have a cone. Okay, obviously this would be the top, right? So at the bottom, so if I flip this over, at the bottom of a cone, what do you see? I see a circle, which means that's going to be figure A. Okay, now number 15, we're talking about what's the side view of a cube. So right here's a cube. Now with a cube, remember, what is so interesting about all of its sides or all of its faces? Remember, a cube, every single side, every single face is a square, right? No matter where you go, it is a square. So which figure is the side view of a cube? That is going to be figure C. Now remember, this is a review for your open book test on chapter 21. If you have any questions, go back through, pause the video, okay, and make sure you have all the answers for 1 through 15 completed.